Hi, this is Erica Norton, and I am the founder of Perfect Legal Video. I'm very excited to have with us today Attorney Nicole Reeves Lavallee. She owns a family and real estate law firm in the Worcester area, and she and her team are excellent at what they do. Today, we are going to have a really fun topic. We're going to be talking about how not to piss off the judge. Is that right, Nicole?
We're going to do everything in our power to avoid making the judge angry at us. Yes.
I mean, and obviously you're gonna get more, what did my mom always say? You get more bees with honey than you do anything else. You're trying to get a good results. You want to make sure that you are someone that is respectful to the judge and acting appropriately in the court. And I know you and I have even like together just a couple of times we've ever been in court. You're in court all the time. You must see it every day. But you and I saw some pretty inappropriate things the time we were in the court. So, I mean, I know you've got a list here and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So, we will talk about what are some examples that you wanted to mention.
Well, I think we're going to start out with the basics. Your appearance. What are you wearing? Are you dressed appropriately? This is a court. And I'm going to say this, and it doesn't really carry as much weight anymore, but I'm still going to say it. What do you wear when you're Sunday's best when you go to church? Where you need to dress appropriately. The court is a respectful location. You should dress with a skirt, a button-down shirt, um, a blazer if you have one. I mean, obviously those are the high-end things, but again, just dress appropriately. Don't wear shorts. Don't wear jeans. Avoid those things. Everyone has slacks or pants that they can wear, even if they don't want to wear a dress, but dress appropriately. And, if you have somebody that has a lot of tattoos, cover them up. It's just simple things to make the judge look as if you are approachable and you are a respectable person. And I'm not saying any of these things make you not respectful, but again, the court is going to take that approach and look at you and go, really, sir?
I mean, it's not night court, right? They're not pulling the streetwalkers off of the streets and they're just coming in what they're wearing. And I mean, it's definitely something where you want to like business casual even at the very least. But yeah, certainly like you said, you're not gonna go looking like you're about to go to the beach after and your flip-flops and whatever else. And hey, it's tough for some people. Some people don't have jobs where they do have to dress up and they don't have a lot of money. So, I mean, they're going to do the best they can. And I think that there are even places, the Goodwill, where you can go get some inexpensive, dressier clothing that would be appropriate. I mean, what are some of the suggestions you have for people that maybe just don't have that kind of thing in the closet?
There's always those places. So Savers has a lot of different options. Goodwill has a lot of options. Sometimes even dollar stores, and I know they keep changing everything, but sometimes dollar stores even have those things that I know that they're not a dollar, but at least they're on the cheaper end. Maybe you go, hey, mom, do you have anything that I can wear? Ask a family friend. You're only borrowing it for a day or so. Those are kind of options. There are Dress for Success programs. Those are obviously geared to job interviews, but certainly if you say, I have a court appearance and it's really important, I'm sure they're going to go, yes, we have something for you too as well. So there's definitely ways that you can do it if you don't have the financial means. And again, even if you just have closed-toed shoes versus the flip-flops, because we hear that clunk, 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 clunk. It's like everyone looks and goes, really? Don't do that. We're all looking at you, every single person, and the judge is looking up and going, and they've already got that sigh, and oh my God, I have to deal with you. So just avoid those things.
Absolutely. And you just showed a bit of attitude there, Nicole, and that may not be the attitude that you would actually want to give the judge. The judge is more than welcome to give it to you, but that kind of thing. And I mean, and I'm pretty sure that that's one of the things you're going to talk about.
Absolutely. It is the attitude. It is the And you'll make those comments and you'll say, that's not true. No, don't talk if you're not being asked to talk. Don't roll your eyes. Don't sigh. Don't go, don't do any of that stuff. Be stoic. Your job is to stand there and look pretty. And that's your only job, is to look pretty until the judge addresses you. And I mean that, because all too often you'll go and you'll do something and the judge is seeing you out of the corner of your eye, even if you're not talking. And if you're like me, I can see everything that you're doing on both sides of the table. So don't be that person. Don't slam things on your desk. Don't start fumbling for the papers. Don't do any of that. Literally stand there, be stoic. You have your lace pen and paper, you're writing notes. Go ahead, nobody cares. You can look down, write your notes. You can softly flip through a page. That's what you do. Other than that, you stand still and you wait your turn. And the judge will tell you when it's your turn to talk. But don't talk over anyone else either.
That is so true. I remember one time we went to court. I don't actually think you were there, but I think the only thing I got to say was my name. And I think I had maybe 10 seconds to try to explain something else. And that was it. And it was very frustrating because the other side was just demolishing what we were trying to do. And I it was just so many lies were being said and I couldn't say anything. And I didn't, I had a different attorney that day. I know that you were away. But it was like the person didn't know the whole story from 5 years ago. Nobody should be expected to know that, but it was just it was very frustrating, but I did not say anything more than what I was asked. And that's all you can do. I mean, you can whisper to your attorney or write them a note, right? If there's something that you think is really needs to be brought up, but you have to be really casual and quiet about it.
Absolutely. And I think, again, as long as you're quiet about it, as long as you're not disruptive, the court's not going to care when I whisper and go, they don't care. They know that. That's perfectly okay. And that's not disrespectful. And you just hope that, you're listening out of the other ear. But, that there's a time and place. And I think that if you're representing yourself, you need to make sure that you're completely prepared. Have an outline. Don't read it verbatim, because when you pick up that piece of paper and you're going, and this happened today, and then judge has already lost interest. Judge is not listening. So, ma'am, put down the piece of paper. Tell me what you want to say. Now, how flustered do you think you are? You are like beyond, you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do if I can't read it? So that's why if you're going to do it yourself, you're going to have an outline. Have bullet points. That's all you want to have is, 5 or 6 bullet points, no more than that, because again, the judge is going to cut you off, and the judge may cut you off mid-sentence. If your attorney's there, obviously they're going to be your talking point. They're the ones that are going to be able to articulate that. They're going to have a lot more than that 10 seconds to talk. So make sure you have the appropriate person that is going to be your speaker in that case.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said that well, and I've seen this, but you write up everything, the background, the research, the information that the judge might need. That so everything may not be said in court, but she definitely reads everything later.
Absolutely. Again, you want to make sure that you have a good memo or good motion or whatever it is you're presenting to the judge. You want to have all of the relevant facts in that documentation, because they're probably going to read it even before they get on the bench and hear your case.
Absolutely. So, what other tips do you have for us about about not pissing off the judge?
Don't expect that your documents are going to be able to be shown to a judge. But Your Honor, I have this piece of paper. You need to read this. No, you need to read. And again, not something the judge is going to do. There's a time and place. So if you're representing yourself, or if you have an attorney, there's attorneys that will do that too. And it's like, no, Stop. If I have something, I'm going to have it and go, Your Honor, I have right here the documentation that supports X, Y, and Z. I'd ask if you want to take a look at it. I'm happy to show it, Your Honor. You pause, you wait a minute, and then you continue on because they're going to say, Yeah, I want to see that, Nicole. Or, No, I don't need to see it. Or they'll say nothing. And if they say nothing, that means continue with your argument. I don't care. But again, those are little tidbits that we all know because when you want to show that documentation, it's not helpful. And then sometimes you'll have somebody going, Well, I have this document right here and it says blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to be over there going, Objection, Your Honor. Objection. That's not an admissible document. And so I'm going to stop their flow. So again, be able to paraphrase what that document says. You know, the child is failing in 5 grades and they've missed 20 days of school, Your Honor. And this is just from this period of time. And the teacher has indicated that this has all happened during mother's parenting time. Great. I summarized it. I didn't show you the document, but I got my point across, didn't I? So really need to be able to know what your documents are that help you and be able to articulate that.
I mean, that's really good advice, and it's good to know that they will see the information eventually. It's just, like you said, there's a time and a place, and they've probably got more cases than they need to get through in one day sitting out there. So they're trying to move things along.
Absolutely. And I think, another great point is just, again, knowing where you stand. Don't talk over the judge. And I know this sounds really stupid, but let me tell you, we still do it all the time. Don't raise your hand. We know you have something to say. We see you. And oh, by the way, your attorney's sitting right there, and they're your voice box. So why are you raising your hand? Because now that makes me look bad because I'm going, there's a time and place. Like it's not my turn yet. So it kind of derails the entire argument where now all of a sudden the judge is focusing on, again, you rolling your eyes. You're just doing it in a format of raising your hand or being inappropriate. So you want to take a step back from that stuff. You want to wait your turn. You don't want to talk over other people unless it's an objection. And the objection is objection, blah. And then you let them continue. And the judge will make the determination as to whether or not they can or cannot continue. But that's not your job to continue to talk over somebody. Again, it's about respect.
And honestly, if you go by the golden rule, you treat people the way you'd want to be treated, then you should be okay, unless you like to have people talk over you all the time. And not many people I know do.
Absolutely. I mean, it is, again, it's just you need to know where your limitations are. You need to understand that this person that's standing there before you or sitting there before you is the one that's ultimately going to decide your case. So piss them off the first time, piss them off the second time, piss them off the third time. Every single time, they have a little book and they write things in their little book. You don't know about that book. You don't get to see that book. You don't get to know what it says. But I guarantee you, they are deciding your case based off of your actions or your inappropriateness.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could stand to lose money, time, like whatever it is you're there in court about, you're going to lose whatever that is. And it could be time with your child in the long run. It's bad. So you really want to listen to your attorney. And if you don't have an attorney and you're in the Worcester area, definitely give Nicole and her team a call because they do this every single day. And they know the judges, they know how to act, they can help prep you for court if you've never been. A lot of people have never even talked to an attorney before. It's like you don't need one till you need one. And then all of a sudden you're in the world of going to court and learning how to act, and it's a lot to learn, and it's like drinking from a fire hose, and you need someone like Nicole and her team to get you through it and get you the best results, because I guarantee you if you go in there all hot-headed and yelling at everyone and interrupting and not understanding the way things are supposed to work in the court and how you're supposed to act and how you're supposed to dress and talk. I mean, it can it can really do a lot of damage to your case.
Absolutely. And another tip it is just be prepared. Know what whether it's what you want to say or what you want to get across to your attorney or get across to the court. Be prepared because the judge can cut any one of us off, including the attorneys, and can go, ma'am, I'm talking to you. What about this? And that means the attorney needs to shut up and let their client answer. And so you need to be prepared that, yeah, even though most of the times it's just saying my name, sometimes it's answering a question. I had somebody yesterday and the judge said, so where are you residing? And I went, I'm thinking it's in an apartment, but I looked at my client and said, what's the answer? And he had to articulate that. And then, of course, the judge asked him another follow-up question to that. So again, there are times that, the judge is going to ask you specific questions, especially if you did something wrong, like, you were abusive to your child, or you said something wrong or inappropriate to your child, or you took your child to an AA meeting, any of those things, right? The judge will ask you directly and go, did you do that? And, honestly, I have to say it, but answer truthfully because it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. I had somebody yesterday that again said, well, I'm current in my mortgage. Okay, so what day did you pay it in October? Oh, I didn't pay it this month. Well, we're in October. I'm a little confused by that. And then we went back to, so when did you pay September? Oh, I didn't pay September. Okay, and what about August? Oh, I didn't pay that. So again, when you make that first lie to the court, it's going to come back. And of course, now the court's like looking at you going, and that's really the look like, why are you even talking? Because I don't believe a word you're saying anymore. And now you've set the pace for that judge writing it in the book going, don't believe this person.
I mean, that's great. That's a great point. Are there any other things that really piss off a judge that look, I haven't thought about yet?
I mean, we could obviously go on and on for days for this, but I think the biggest thing is know that you are not going to get a decision that day. Understand that, because all too often people don't understand that. They're like, but Your Honor, so what are you doing? Again, time and place. The judge just said something was taken under advisement. Yes, you may not understand what that means, but what that does mean is you'll get a notice in the mail. I'll let you know, go away. And they probably already made a decision, but they're not going to tell you because of how you're going to react. So, take it and listen to it and say, thank you, Your Honor, and turn around and walk out peacefully. And don't make snide comments under your voice because they can hear when you're walking out the door. Often they go, come back here, sir. Come back here. And you come right back, and now the judge is yelling at you because maybe they changed their mind because you made a snide comment.
Yeah, the side comments are never welcome. Under your breath comments, sighs, yeah, right, all that stuff. Even though in your head you're thinking it, you just got to keep your face still. You might get red, you might get angry, but you just got to be stoic, like you said. And those are really great points. And it's, some judges, it doesn't take much to piss them off. So, um, doing the bare minimum, which is what we've talked about today, just being polite, being dressed appropriately, facial expressions appropriate, talking when you're supposed to talk, and let your attorney do the work because they're the experts and they're there when you're hot and angry about something, and a lot of people are in family court. They're going to be there and they're going to make you look good because they're going to be reasonable and they're going to be intelligent. And that's really the best way to get a good result in court.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate all of your information, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week.